A very good morning to all of you friends. Today we are going to discuss about the human alimentary canal. We have already discussed about the buccal cavity as well as the stomach. And today's topic we will see the functions of the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, the small intestine and the large intestine. Okay, so let us start with the liver. Now liver is the largest gland in our body. Okay, it is present in the right hand side just beside the stomach. Now, liver has got a number of functions apart from digestion, like detoxification of chemicals, like making some proteins which help in clotting of blood. So, it is a very useful organ. But what is its role in digestion? The liver produces a salt that is alkaline in nature, that is known as bile salts. Okay, these bile salts are produced throughout the day in the liver. But we are taking meals only 4 times or 5 times a day. Okay, so that extra amount of bile must be stored somewhere, because when food is not present in our stomach, then bile has no work. So bile is continuously synthesized and produced by the liver, but it is stored in the gallbladder. Okay, now this gallbladder is attached to the small intestine by the help of a duct that is called the bile duct. Okay, so remember, bile is actually produced in the liver, but it is stored in the gallbladder. So gallbladder only helps in storage of bile. Now, what is the importance of these bile salts? The bile salts, they are, just now I told you, they are alkaline in nature. Okay, they help in digestion by the process of emulsification of fat. That means they break the larger fat droplets or oil droplets into smaller droplets so that they can be easily acted upon by another enzyme that is called lipase. Lipase is produced by pancreas. Okay, in our last video we have seen that food inside the stomach is basically acidic in nature, but the moment the food starts coming to the duodenum here, so bile salts are released. So the second function of bile salt is to convert the acidic food into alkaline so that the enzyme lipase can act on it. Okay, so bile has got two functions. One, it helps in breaking the larger fat droplets into smaller droplets by a process called emulsification of fat, and second function of bile is to make the acidic food that comes from the stomach into alkaline so that lipase can act on the fat droplets. Okay, so basically bile helps in increasing the surface area of these fat droplets by converting them from large molecules into smaller molecules. So there are two functions of bile. Please go through them. Okay, now after the liver and the gallbladder, we have the pancreas. So the moment the food starts coming through the duodenum, you see there is another duct, that is a bile duct, that helps in transfer of pancreatic juices from the pancreas to the duodenum or the small intestine. Now, what is this pancreatic juice? Pancreas is another gland that is present in the left hand side of our abdomen. This pancreas helps in secreting three important pancreatic enzymes. Okay, so pancreatic juice is basically made up of three important pancreatic enzymes. One is the amylase, okay, second one is the trypsin, and third one are the you can say lipase. Okay, so amylase, they help in converting carbohydrates into maltose. Okay, the trypsin helps in converting proteins into peptides and peptones, and the lipase act on the emulsified food and converts it into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, so there are these three enzymes which are present in the pancreas, and they act on carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Okay, so if you compare digestive enzymes which are present in the stomach and the digestive enzymes which are present in the pancreas, you will see food is acidic here. That is why pepsin, if you remember, we have read about pepsin. So pepsin actually is a protein digesting enzyme that acts in the stomach, but trypsin is a pancreatic enzyme that acts on the alkaline food. Okay, so it works on alkaline food. So that is difference between pepsin and trypsin. Please remember, both of them are protein digesting enzymes, but one is secreted by the stomach, that is pepsin, and the other is secreted by the pancreatic juice, that is trypsin. But both of them work on proteins. Okay, so we completed liver, gallbladder, pancreas. Then the small intestine. So now the food passes through the duodenum and now it comes to the jejunum part. Okay, so mind you children, small intestine is the site for maximum digestion of food. Okay, not only maximum digestion of food but also maximum absorption of food, so that cells can assimilate the food. Okay, you already know that the small intestine is divided into the duodenum, the jejunum and the ileum. Okay, duodenum secretes some intestinal juices. So small intestine has got the internal lining of the small intestine has got some glands which secrete intestinal juices. These intestinal juices are again of three types. Okay, carbohydrate digesting enzymes, protein digesting enzymes, and there are fat digesting enzymes. Okay, so all the carbohydrates will be converted into glucose and galactose and fructose and all monosaccharides, and the proteins will be converted into from peptones to peptides. Now they will be converted into amino acids, okay, so that the cells can take them, and the emulsified fat will now be converted into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, so in the small intestine, the duodenum part, you see intestinal juices are present which helps in digestion of food. So maximum digestion takes place in the small intestine. Okay, but there is slight difference between jejunum, duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay, jejunum and ileum, they help in absorption of food because their internal lining is made up of some finger-like projections which are called villi. Okay, these finger-like projections, they are again made up of microvillis. So you can imagine they increase the surface area of the small intestine. Okay, and they help in absorption of the digested food. Just now we saw organic foods are converted into their end products. Carbohydrates are converted into glucose, galactose, fructose. Protein is converted into amino acids, and fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So these end products are now slowly digested by the villi and the microvilli. Okay, because these villi are finger-like projections which are present in the small intestine, also in the large intestine, and they help in absorption of digested food material, and the villi which are present in the large intestine, they help in absorption of water molecules and some salts. Okay, so what are villi and where are they present? Villi are present in the small intestine. They are finger-like projections which are richly supplied with blood vessels. So they help in exchange or transportation of substances from the alimentary canal or the gut into the bloodstream so that they can be carried to the individual cells of the body. Okay, so just after digestion, along with that, absorption also takes place. Okay, that is the difference between digestion and absorption. Now in the small intestine, you know, maximum absorption and digestion takes place. Okay, then the food reaches. Now the food is totally alkaline in nature and all the important substances have been digested. It has passed into blood. From blood it has gone through the respective or individual cells. Now the unwanted food, the food which is not digested by the body. So the unwanted food now passes to the large intestine to be expelled out of the body. That means to be removed out of the body. Now once again the large intestine is made up of three parts. I told you last day also, the part that is close to the appendix, that is called, this region is only called cecum, this region is called colon, and the last region is called rectum. Okay, so large intestine is again made up of three parts: cecum, colon and rectum. Okay, large intestine function is to help in absorption of water from the undigested food, the food that must be thrown out of the body now. Okay, because all the end products have been absorbed. The unwanted products must be expelled from the body, that is through the opening that is called anus. Okay, and what is the function of rectum? Rectum helps in storage of undigested food temporarily. Okay, for a certain period of time it helps in condensing as well as storing the unwanted substance so that it can be removed from the body easily. Okay, so now you know what are the functions of all these different parts of the alimentary canal. Okay, some questions will be there like explain how food digestion takes place in the small intestine, what happens in the large intestine, What is the role of gastric juices? What are the roles of intestinal juices? What do you mean by pancreatic juices? Okay, so such kind of important questions are related to this chapter. Okay, so I am going to upload the summary of these notes. Okay, please go through them. If you feel like writing, you can write, otherwise go through them. A number of assignments I have given, some questions which are related to this topic. Please go through those questions. It will be better if you write them in your class copies and prepare yourself. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me over my phone. Thank you so much for watching this video.